Hey there, Foxy Gamers! Welcome back to Planet Coaster Legoland. Let's continue building our Emmet today, shall we? So, in case you were wondering, at the end of the last episode, I kind of left out that I changed his legs. Ooh, actually, please tell me I updated my blueprint. Yes, okay. So we have the wrong legs here. I decided that I wanted it to look a little bit better than we had it. So make sure that's all removed. And this is why we separated these out as their own blueprint pieces, so that we could do this. So the legs aren't as thick anymore, which I realized was going to work better if the legs were round all the way at the top, because even though we're making this in the basic sort of T-pose kind of thing that we have going on, we want to be able to rotate the legs on a character and have it look right. And if it was squared off like we had it, it wasn't going to look good. So I think in the long run, this will actually be better than the way we had it. Ideally, I would be able to scale these circular pieces, and they would, you know, go from like here to here, and then we would make them straight down from there. But it's either this guy or way too big. So this is what we're gonna go with. And now we're gonna pop on the arms. Need to edit our building. And the arms are going to be a little bit more tricky. It's going to be kind of a trial and error because we don't have super good shapes for what I want to make. And these tube things, well, let me see what this looks like. I don't think this is going to look good. This is not what we want our Lego guy to look like. No. Yeah, I know we're taking some artistic liberties, but that's just a little too much. So, what I want to do is potentially use the cylinder. That is also not quite the right size. Alright, well this took me way too long. What I was trying to do is make the arm so that it was thicker up here and taper it off into the wrist down here. Well, as I've stated before, the Art Deco pieces are somewhat limiting, and that was not something I could do and make it look good, and I spent way too much time on that. So this is what I came up with, and it's going to have to do. And in case you want to know, we have the half sphere up here, and a bunch of small circles, a couple cylinders to make, or spheres to make the elbow joint, and then additionally small circles. And I started off making it bigger up top and sinking into the body, but then what I realized is that we want to be able to pose these Legos and not have to redo the arms every time. So this is what I'm going to go with. And we'll see what we can get for the hands. I'm a little concerned. What we're gonna do first is put in the little wrist guy. I guess if we want to be super technical, is that a square? No, that's not really a square. We'll do the circle. So we'll give him a cute little wrist. Alright, so here is the tricky part. What is gonna happen if we use this as our hand shape? I think this is gonna be too big, because in order to make it the curve that we want, we basically are going to need it to be like so. And that is just gonna be too big. Well, this is just gonna have to be one of those things we fake. Shoot. Alright guys, here's our cute little half-assed Lego hands. Are they even gonna be enough? Big enough, that is. Let's see. Oh no, it's too little. He's got midget hands. Alright guys, this is gonna have to do. What we did here was use the extra small arc and then extra small circles to make the ends rounded. And once again, it's not going to be the best thing ever. Oh, this is silly. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is actually duplicate this and give it the thickness we want instead of trying to duplicate it after we attach it to the arm. It'll be a lot easier to line it up this way, even though it's still going to be a little bit of a turd. I just want to have this so that if you want to put something in their hands, it's going to look believable. What I could have done was just put spheres at the end of their hands, you know? Like, there was a person in the workshop, can't remember their name off the top of my head, but they made some really cute looking Mario sculptures, and I liked the simplicity of them. And they just used spheres for the hands, which worked really well for the Mario characters especially. But for some reason, I just can't quite bring myself to give our Lego people sphere hands. I don't know why. If you think I should, please tell me, because maybe I'm overthinking this, and I need you guys to help keep me in check. So yeah, don't be afraid to tell me I'm doing something wrong, or if you have any tips for me, or if you just want to tell me to stop being so much of a perfectionist. That is fine too. Okay. See what happens when we give this guy a hand. Now here's where the tricky part comes, because this, you can see this axis. Ah, there we go. So if we place it and then hit X again, it's not a perfect spot for our axis to be, but it's better than it was before. I think this will work well enough. Let's make sure we have it in a good place. Yes, it's going to clip through his body a little bit, but I'm not terribly concerned about that, because we can always move the arm later if that really bothers us. But... Alright, that's pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. Alright. So, what I'm gonna do for this blueprint is combine the arm and the hand into one. Since they don't really... on, you know, real Legos, they don't actually get posed independently of each other. Yes, you can twist the hands, but you should be able to do that fairly easily anyway. I mean, you don't get to twist it right on the wrist like I'd really like to be able to, but you can grab just the hand pieces and manipulate them if you so please. Alright, so going to grab all those, do our separate from building, and now here comes the tricky part, because alright, I'm gonna undo that. No! Crap. Redo. Alright. So here's what I'm gonna do. We will get rid of these for now. Whoops. No, I don't want to select the building. I just want the scenery. We will scoot you guys over there. That's fine, I can leave that one there. So that way, when I separate this from the building, it'll be a little bit easier to select the scenery that I want. Actually, let's do it from this angle. No, I don't want the building. There we go. Looks like we missed a spot. Oh! Are you kidding me? We didn't separate this from the building. Fine! You, sir. Get off of there. Oh no, not you two. Why you guys gotta be jerks, huh? Alright, there we go. So now I will select the arm. Create a blueprint. Lego arm. I will flesh out these descriptions a little bit more before I uploaded them to the workshop so that people can understand that they are kind of a set. But for now, it's a Lego arm. Hooray! Alright, so hypothetically we can just undo everything. Whoops, not that far. Aha! Hooray! So now... Ooh... Are we gonna need to make... I hope we don't need to make a left arm and a right arm. I hope this works well enough. Oh no. This might be bad because it's gonna be hard to rotate. We need to add all these guys to the building. That way, if I want to place my blueprint and rotate it properly, it should be easier to select if all those other pieces are part of a building. Okay, let's see if my theory stands true about being able to select this hand and rotate it. Oh, actually, we don't really need to select the wrist part because we want that to stay where it is anyway. You either want to select none of the wrist or all of the wrist. Oh, and I'm a hypocrite and selected one piece of it. Ah, camera movements, crap. Okay, so it turns out it would be best to... yeah, select the hand and none of the wrist. But we're gonna leave that like it is. Hey, alright. He's waving now. Yay! And what if we make him walk? How about we do that just like the Emmet in the photo. Except we don't want quite all of that there. There we go! So cute! Okay, we can move the building up so that his feet are actually on the ground. But let's make sure this is all one piece first. There we go. And ups-a-daisy. Yay! Too bad we can't animate him. Oh man, can you imagine what the animation tools would be like in this game, considering what just the movement tools are like? Bleh. No thanks. Alright! We are coming along nicely. In fact, this is pretty much what the base for any of our Lego characters are going to be. Because now what we're going to do is start adding the details in order to make this Lego character actually Emmet. And in case you missed why I said I didn't add a mouth before, is because mouths are another thing that's going to vary a lot on characters. But the basic geometry, that is pretty much going to stay the same. Also, I know before anybody criticizes me, the backs of the legs do not have the holes for actually sitting him on the Legos, but those are one of the details we're not going to be able to pay attention to. Same with the bottom of the feet. Oh, in fact, oh, there is like a tiny little hole. That was totally an accident, but that is kind of what it would look like, except bigger. That's what she said. Anyway, let's first of all save this out as a blueprint, but separate our Lego man first. Can we? Let's see. I kind of want this arm to be not sticking through his body for the blueprint that we're going to use. No. I'm also used to hitting undo as a means of undoing your selection. Like if you select a thing that you don't want or you deselect something that you did want, I'm used to being able to hit undo in Maya, and it will just bring back the selection that you had before, but that is not something I can do in this game. I feel like in that sense, it would be easier for me to learn these tools if I was not actually experienced with something like that. But alas, I am too knowledgeable for my own good. What can I do? Alright, that's good enough. He's so cute. We will save you, sir. Or ma'am. You could be a bald ma'am. Save as blueprints. Let's see, what kind of angle do we want? I like this one. Lego. Character. Not character. Character. Base. Alright guys, so we are at a level to where I am actually going to start uploading these to the Steam Workshop. So if you would like to play around with this base that we've created here, you can totally click on the link in my description, or if you're like friends with me on Steam, or you just go to my Steam profile, you can go to my Steam Workshop and find all of these guys inside the Planet Coaster Steam Workshop. Okay, but for now, this is where we're going to get into the details on Emmet, and from this point on, we aren't going to save out anything as a separate blueprint, because all of the details that we put on Emmet are going to be for him specifically. So I am also going to keep him in this pose, because for those of you who don't know, this is the pose I am going off of while I'm designing this. So that is a very recognizable pose, and I might regret doing this because putting on these details will potentially be trickier to line to the surface this way, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway. So we'll start off with the easy details, which is putting the silver stripes on his clothing, and that is probably as far as we will get for this episode. But I want to actually... okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make this part of the building again, because it's easier to select and duplicate stuff that way. And we'll make this... I guess we don't really have, like, shiny silver, but gray will have to do. And once again, just a friendly reminder, if at all possible, it is nice to use angle snap when rotating things, as it will be easier to line things up again should you accidentally deselect and need to add a new object instead of just duplicating it like we're doing right now. Siri, this is where I should be modeling this in the base pose so that it's easier to line everything up, but I'm being a lazy-ass hypocrite right now. Bah! Actually, you know what? Enough being a hypocrite. I am actually going to place the blueprint, assuming I can get rid of this leg. See, this is where making all these pieces in separate blueprints came in handy! Hooray! Alright. Not gonna bother with every detail on this character because he's got like some stickers on his leg right here in the round portion. But F that, man. I do not know how I would go about doing that, and I feel as though it's not really that important because people are going to be able to tell that this is Emmet with or without details at that extreme level. This part actually seems easier than sculpting out the basic shape. But, you know, it's probably one of those things where the further I go in this series, the faster I'm gonna get at these. And someday I'm gonna look back on these videos and be like, what a noob! Why was I trying to do that? I've learned all these amazing techniques now that I wish I could have told past self how to do this. But that's what I'm here for, to save you guys the trouble of such torment. Alright, now he's got his cute little belt down here. But I may need to do this sideways. What happens? Are you guys the same width? Give him his little belt here, which is black. Actually, we should start in the center. Because otherwise it'll be one of those things like trying to write happy birthday on a poster, but not actually plotting out where all your letters are going to be and then running out of space. We don't want to do that. That's lame. Alright, hooray! Coming along nicely. Alright, what I'd really like to do is give him this little tie thing, or the vest that he has coming down here. But we don't have thin, hard edges. All we have are these triangle things, which we might be able to get to work. The entire goal here is to use as few pieces as possible, but also not have them sticking out. And this one might actually be too big and stick out. Yep, that's not gonna work. So we'll go with the small and see how that does. We won't be able to come flush with the edge because otherwise it's sticking out like that. But that's okay. Alright, there we go. That's sort of what Emmet looks like. Yay! Oh, you know what? Important thing we're missing here. Let's get this gray piece he has up top here. This little collar thingy. That'll add a little bit to this character without much effort. Except looks like we'll have to plop down a few of these because that doesn't quite fit the entire thing like I was hoping. No big deal. There we go. I can't really remember what the backs of Legos look like, except for, you know, having the holes on the back. I can look up some photos, or if you guys feel like telling me whether or not you care about the back being detailed, maybe you don't even care, because for the most part, I would like to think that in a theme park, people are going to be seeing the fronts of the characters, or there's going to be like something else kind of in the back, making it not as obvious that their backs are plain. But I'm happy to add something to his back if you guys would like. I mean, there is the, oh my gosh. Why did I forget what it's called? The red thing that he carries on his back, because he's the master builder. Oh, I'm the worst person ever. I can't remember what that's called. I'll feel like a dummy in 5 minutes when I remember. Anyway, I think that's good for now. We made quite a bit of progress today. And next episode, we are going to figure out how to make his hair look good and give him a mouth. That's gonna be probably the hardest part out of all of this, is the mouth. And then, once we're done with him, instead of making all the characters, because I'd really like to build this out as a park kind of as we go, and my plan is to like start out with the front of the park. You're in Emmet's bedroom, and kind of like you're walking through the theme park as though you're walking through the movie. So the different scenes from the movie will kind of be specific areas, and like when we get to the really intense part of the movies, that's where the roller coasters are going to be at. We'll start out with the kiddie rides, you know, just like in a a real a real theme park too. You have the kid rides in the front and the roller coasters in the back so that people work their way up to them. Okay, I think that'll do it for this episode. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining me. I hope you're having a fun time with this one. I think it's gonna be really cool when we're done, although it might be months before we get anything significant, considering I only have like 3 hours every other day that I can actually play this game. But for now, it's time for me to go bake some cookies for our cookie and candy treat exchange party tomorrow at work. So thanks a lot again, everybody, and until next time, stay foxy, everyone.